Good morning and welcome to Match Day 2018. It is, congratulations in advance to everybody. It is truly wonderful to see all of you in one place with your families and all of your supporters. And we are thrilled to be participating in this unique tradition with you this morning. And it truly is a unique tradition. Medical students throughout the country opening envelopes all at the same time to find out where they'll spend the next phase of their training. This is pretty dramatic, and I know you all want to dramatically open those envelopes right now, but we can't do that yet. You might also be wondering, where did this tradition come from? And in case you are, since we have a few minutes to kill, I'll tell you where that came from. The tradition has been in place since 1952. And the match as we know it today was created in response to a highly competitive, decentralized process that resulted in training programs aggressively pursuing applicants and securing their program's residency slots as much as 2 years in advance. And so in 1950, the turnaround time from offer to acceptance was less than 12 hours. And so this is really hard for me to fathom in the days before computers, emails, text messages. So what it resulted in was basically offers were made over the phone, and candidates were pressured to accept or reject them even before they hung up. So now here we are 66 years later, and we still have a highly competitive process. But it's now centralized and involved an algorithm that incorporates the work of a Nobel Prize winner. It's completely electronic. And yet here we are at 9:48, sitting, waiting to open an old-fashioned letter at a specified time with students throughout the country. We recognize all of the work and sacrifice and support that went into this day, which culminates in this envelope in front of you. So no matter where this envelope sends you, we know you're going to be challenged more than you have been challenged thus far. You'll also experience reward and satisfaction, even more than you have to date. So enjoy this unique tradition this morning and know that wherever you end up, wherever that envelope sends you, you're going to do great things. And we are all so proud of you and can't wait to see what the next chapter brings for you. This clock is ticking slowly. So without further ado, I am going to welcome Dean Riley to come up and make his remarks at this time.
So I'm not good at the stretch here, so I won't be up here very long. So we can, for all of you who are young adult fiction or science fiction fans, you know that A Wrinkle in Time is out right now. We might be able to create a little tesseract here and enter a different time. So as Dr. Tosi mentioned, this is kind of a unique tradition. It is the original computer dating, and as she mentioned, the mathematics that underlie this were developed by somebody who went on to win the Nobel Prize for the principles underlying this matching algorithm. And it is, I think, emblematic of the profession of medicine, which is a mixture of tradition and progress. And in the age where you applied to medical school online, probably applied to college online, heard about your college acceptances online, maybe got an old-fashioned phone call from Dr. Zender when you got in to this place, but when everything has been electronic, you watch your lectures online, the fact that everybody's in a room holding an envelope, which will blow up if you open it before 10 a.m., by the way, is a throwback to one of the traditions in medicine. So I would echo Christina's comments that you're about to enter a phase of your career that most people identify as the most formative part of their professional careers. It's a lot of hard work. It's an intense experience, but the learning curve is immense. And I predict that in the same way, many of the people sitting in this room will be your friends for life. Many of the residents that you train with over the next few years will also be your friends for life. For those of you who are staying here in one of our training programs, we're going to be excited to have you. For those who are going out to other training programs, hopefully the ones you want, please represent us well. We are confident that we've prepared you well, and we would support you always as you advance in your professional careers. So I'm going to get out of the way and let Dr. Druck be the guy who holds the bag between now and 10 a.m. Thanks very much.
I want to start by thanking Dr. Tossi and Dean Riley for giving me so much time to fill. So I do want to talk to you about two things. The first one that I want to talk to you about is delayed gratification. For 8 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about delayed gratification. No, I'm kidding. I wanted to talk to you about delayed gratification because this represents the culmination of a huge amount of delayed gratification for a lot of you. I would say for all of you. When you think of what has brought you to this stage, the work that you have put in, the time that you have put in, and the effort that you have put in, I think that you all need to give yourselves a round of applause. So please join me. How about another round of applause? So the second thing that I wanted to talk to you about is something that's commonly referred to as standing on the shoulders of giants. There is not a single person here who has gotten to this stage without an enormous amount of help from those that are either sitting at your table or representing you at home or have represented you in the past. There is no question that every single one of us relies on our social networks, on our teachers, and on our friends to get us to this stage. And if there's one group that I think needs to be recognized, that is the group. So please join me, stand up, and recognize the people that helped get you here. With that being said, I synced my watch this morning with the atomic clock. And according to my watch, it is 9:59 and 59 seconds. Please feel free to open up your envelopes.
Yes? No? Good? Hi, Uncle Barry and Dad. I'm going to St. Joe's for my surgery prelim and Vanderbilt for radiology. Yay! Okay.
All right. All right. Stephen James Acey, congratulations. You've been called to serve in the Montana Family Medicine Residency in Billings. So we're on to Billings.
Hey, come here. Hi, Grandma, Grandpa, Dad, Mom, Marlena, siblings, Schoen family. We're going to Fort Collins. Woohoo!
That's it? Hey! Mwah. Natasha Sanchez Crystal arriving.
So for anybody who clicked the link and is watching, we are moving to LA. That's it. We're just here to cheer them on, that's all. Hi, Loli, if you're watching, and family, and Teddy and Cynthia, and anybody
Sandwich.
else. And Henry.
Sandwich.
stay here. Love y'all. Hi, family. We're staying here. I matched to Colorado. 3 more years.
Okay, let's run. Going to Denver Health. Woo! Good.
We're going to Alaska. You're all invited. Come visit.
Hi everyone, I'm going to UCSF Family Medicine.
Okay. Hey Cheryl and Paul, Dad, Lee, other family. Got Greeley, so first choice. Just wanted to say hi. All right, love you all. Thanks for everything.
Hello, Mom and Dad. I'm going to Greeley. So excited, first choice. Woo! Thank you. University of Colorado for IR.
Hey everyone, going to Hofstra for both prelim and ophthalmology. Not surprised. Woo!
You want to say hey to Noah? He will in a minute. They'll turn this on and then he'll see us in a minute.
Hey Bob. Thank you. Yeah, we're happy here. Hey, that's just 1 year. Yeah. Thank you. You see us? I know. It's. I'm working on the beard. You can see us now. Yeah, I gotta fit in Fargo.
Okay, where should you go?
All right, we're gonna move from the camera. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, family.
Hi.
We're going to Dallas.
UT Southwestern.
Wish you guys were here. Thanks for everything. Love you all.
Love you.
Hi, Mom and Dad. I just wanted to say hello, and Sarah wanted to say hi too. And we wish you were here. We love you.
Love you so big.
Yeah. Super
I miss
excited.
you. I'm excited to see you at the wedding next month. I'm so proud of your daughter. She's amazing.
Hi. She's amazing.
No,
Yeah.
she's the badass.
No, it's her. Can you swear on here? Yeah.
Okay.
It's allowed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yay. No, I love you. Love you. Mwah. Bye. Bye.
Excuse me, if you can have your attention again.
Thank you, Tian. In the spirit of the recent Oscar Awards, we would like to announce the nominees for keynote speaker: Dr. Jeffrey Dreck, Dr. Christina Tossi, and Dr. Nicole Zender. And the award for keynote speaker goes to
Dr. Nicole Zender.
But before we invite her up here to receive her award, we'd like to introduce her many accomplishments.
Dr. Zender joined as CU faculty upon completing residency in 2009. She works as a hospitalist at the University of Colorado Hospital and holds the title of Associate Professor in the Department of Internal Medicine. She earned numerous honors for her clinical teaching, including Educational Excellence Award, the Elaine Cleary Award for Excellence in Teaching and Education, and most recently gave a grand rounds at the University of Hospital on the value of teaching. However, Dr. Zender's contributions to the School of Medicine extend beyond her dedication to teaching in a clinical setting. She served as the director of the third year hospitalized adult care clerkship for 4 years, and she has overseen the School of Medicine's admissions office since 2014. She works tirelessly, challenging CU to mirror the increasingly diverse population of patients we serve, and is dedicated to recruiting students who are passionate in furthering humanity in our school and across the world. Though she began her work in the admissions office the semester after most students in our class accepted positions in medical school, Dr. Zender has been a mentor and advocate for many future doctors in this room today. She is honored year after year by students and faculty members for her dedication to students, both through her excellent teaching in the hospital, as well as the countless hours of guidance she provides students outside the clinical setting. Dr. Zender played a pivotal role in helping us get to this day. She is a role model for us, and she will continue to be one as we watch her shape the future of University of Colorado School of Medicine. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nicole Zender.
Here you go.
Thank you, guys. What? I don't know what I should do with this. I feel like I'm going to break it. Thank you. I'm going to put it here. Hopefully that's safe. I'm going to take a big deep breath because I'm not sure who was more nervous this morning, our students or me. So taking a big deep breath. When Tian and Sarah asked me to speak today, I actually had to take another big deep breath and resist the urge to see if they had accidentally emailed the wrong person. Match day is such an incredible day. I was explaining to my kids last night what match day was, and they didn't quite get it. And so I had to explain to them that it was really like the light at the end of a tunnel that you've worked incredibly hard to see that other end, and now you finally know where you're going to be at the end of this journey in medical school. Congratulations. Before I start, I have to say that you, the class of 2018, hold a very special place in my heart. I feel like we've grown up a little bit together. If you are one of our amazing students who opened up an envelope about 77 minutes ago, please stand up. All right, stay standing. Yeah. Stay standing for a second, guys. You guys have learned and perhaps forgotten the Krebs cycle. You have worked countless hours with patients. You have held their hands in their best moments and their worst moments. You are the people that my kids look up to. You are truly superheroes. Thank you. You can sit down. Now, if you are a family member, a spouse, a loved one of someone who opened a little black envelope about 77 minutes ago, please stand up. Yeah. We won't make you stand too long. You were the first people that we called when we heard the news. Congratulations, you've been accepted to medical school. You were the people that we complained about the smell of anatomy to. You cooked us dinners when we studied tirelessly for step 1. You heard our war stories, and you are here to celebrate with us today. You are the true superheroes. Thank you. I'd like to take a quick trip down memory lane. For those of you that started in 2014, I met you on the very first day of orientation. We met in a big auditorium, kind of like this, and I talked about the responsibility of being a physician. You probably don't remember it because you were worried about making friends and worried about where you would find the anatomy lab. For some of you that may have been a little bit older and started earlier, I may have been your clerkship director. We met when you were first a student, and then prior to you starting third year, you got a book of letters from classmates that were a little bit ahead of you. I wrote that prologue. You probably don't remember that either because you were worried about choosing a specialty. In that, we talked about the power of being a physician and taking care of real patients. Now we're going to switch things up a little bit, and we're going to talk about courage. So I want to tell you about a story, and this story happened in September. I was a first year attending, not this September, I'm older than that, but it was a September a few years ago, and I was a first year attending. And I was 3 months into my attending time, and I had spent those months on an exhausting inpatient oncology service. I was tired. I was burnt out. I prefer to call it crispy. I was one slice away from being what a lot of people would say is a meltdown. And so I did what any good young attending does, and I donned a pair of fresh scrubs and a pair of Danskos, and I went right into work. Now, those of you who know me know that I prefer dresses and pink heels, and so Danskos are not my look of choice. And there was this attending, and she came up to me, and she said, "Zender, are you okay? You never wear Danskos." Right? That doesn't seem like it's quite courageous, but it actually was. What she asked me is, "Are you okay?" And I wasn't. And she said, "Don't worry. It's okay. I've been there before. Why don't we grab some dinner after sign out?" So we went and we had dinner, and I told her my story, and she told me hers. And hers was just as messy as mine, and hers wasn't perfect. And what I learned in that moment is that we have to be courageous with our colleagues. Courageous enough to ask if they're really okay. And courageous enough to be ready to listen to the answer. Courageous enough to open our hearts and to know what our colleagues are going through, because if we really want to change medicine and bring humanity into medicine, we have to support the people who are in the trenches with us. You guys already know this sort of courage. But it isn't actually just about our colleagues. I want you to be courageous, courageous in the small moments with your patients. Every year I read thousands, yes, literally thousands of application essays about how much future medical students care about their patients. And you guys are here because you care about your patients. But I want you to be courageous in the small moments, courageous when it's hard, courageous when you're tired and you're worn out and you've been on call for 5 months straight, and you're the one wearing those scrubs and a well-worn pair of Danskos. I want you to advocate for your patients for a seamless follow-up plan, even if they don't have a payer source. I want you to push back on your team when you think that they're following a plan that isn't evidence-based. Be courageous enough to do the right thing every single time for your patients, even when it's hard, and it will be. But be courageous in those small moments. Finally, I want you to be courageous with yourself. As a person, as a unique, incredible, remarkable person, I read those essays, and I read your stories about growing up on ranches, and about being the first in your family to go to college or medical school, or immigrating from another country, or being scared or not knowing your career, or feeling like you were different. Have the courage to be you. Remarkable, incredible you. As you embark on the next chapter of your journey in medicine, be courageous to celebrate your own story, not somebody else's. In a medical world that force functions protocols and forces physicians to write orders in an electronic medical record every single time, the same time, be you. Do not lose that. Your culture, your values, your beliefs, they make up who you are. That's the true diversity that we need in medicine. Do not lose sight of this. So, class of 2018, have the courage with your colleagues to be there for them. Have the courage with your patients to advocate for them, to be the best physician that you possibly can be. And have the courage to be you, because you're perfect just the way you are. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful speech, Dr. Zender. Next, we would like to introduce the nominees for the student speaker. These students were nominated by their peers, and we wanted to recognize their accomplishments as well. Erica Martinez, Parsa Gassam, Chelsea Walter, Cody Brevick, Aubrey Eisenhart and Kevin Quackenbush. Quick round of applause for them. And the award for student speaker goes to La La Land. Oh, wait, no, shoot. Oh, that's right. Aubrey Eisenhart.
Before we invite Aubrey on stage, we'd like to give an introduction. Aubrey needs no introduction, nor was she willing to write one for herself. However, from Facebook, we can glean that she has between 4 and 17 siblings. When asked to describe their sister, one of them said Aubrey is, quote, not as funny as she thinks she is, unquote. She specializes in microwave cooking for one, and she was very passionate about research throughout medical school and was recently published for her work studying the growing impact of ranch dressing on her waistline. Here she is, Adele Dazeem.
Oh, there are so many of you. Thank you so much. It's taking a lot of me to not kind of have a Mean Girls moment with this and break it apart and kind of give it to everyone in the audience. And some for Parsagasm. I mean, that hairdo must have taken hours and you look really pretty. But before I really get started, I just wanted to thank Dr. Zender for delivering such a heartfelt and inspiring speech. Mine's not gonna be anything like that. I hope you're cool with it. But I am so grateful that I was given the opportunity to speak today. As somebody that spent nearly 4 years sitting towards the back of the classroom and who has heard the phrase, too quiet to even evaluate on more than one occasion, it makes total sense to have me participate in any form of public speaking. So a few weeks ago, I was asked to send a copy of this speech to the deans so they could read it over and avoid any surprises on match day. And honestly, it was the first time I realized that the deans would actually be listening to me because it's more than they've done for me in the past 4 years. No, I'm joking. The deans... The deans are wonderfully supportive and have obviously done a lot for us. They got us free gym membership and other stuff, I'm sure. I'm also grateful for everyone that came out to be with us today, to all our friends and family that have been sources of love and support throughout this long and grueling process. We could not have done it without you. Although it certainly would have been cheaper to do this day in particular without you. I hope you finished those eggs, Grandma. They were $35. My mother is here. She had a few suggestions for this speech. First of all, she wanted me to drop the phrase, match madness, as often as possible. She also suggested that I invite Patrick Dempsey to address our class. He played neurosurgeon Dr. Derek Shepard, otherwise known as McDreamy, on Grey's Anatomy for many years. Well, let me break that down for you guys. Upon hearing that I'd be speaking at match day, my own mother basically said, that's good, but you know who'd be better than you? A man who played a fictional doctor who, spoiler alert, got killed off because he doesn't know how to look both ways before he crosses the street. She doesn't even watch the show, which says a lot either about how attractive he is or how little she thinks of me. But without further ado, Patrick, join me on stage. Okay, he's not here, but my mom did write him. He did not respond. But seriously though, I can't believe we're finally here. You guys just matched. Hopefully nothing catastrophic happened, like you matched into OBGYN or something like that. Can you imagine? No, some did. Okay, that's fine. On this day, I know how exciting it is to look ahead and think about what your next step will be, about moving or buying a house or meeting new people. But I feel like we've been doing that for so long. We look forward to starting college and picking our majors, to that graduation, to getting into med school, to getting through step 1 and step 2. So while I'm excited to see what you do next, I do want to take some time to reflect on what these last 4 years have been. Because man, has it been a long road. So let me take you back to the fall of 2014. Taylor Swift's Shake It Off was #1 on Billboard's Hot 100, and the only reason I know that is because I would sing that song every anatomy lab practical question that I didn't know, which means I sang that song about 57 times in a row in every single exam. Just shake it off, shake it off. But that was first year for me, for all of us, studying for like 12 hours a day and feeling like we knew nothing at all. And I cannot tell you how frustrating it is to do all of that and then be asked to do literally anything else. I mean, I got mad when Netflix asked me if I was still watching. Like, yeah, you know I am. Just play the next episode of Gossip Girl before I freak out. So you can imagine my frustration when 2 days before our Molecules to Medicine final, I walked out of my sad studio apartment to the parking lot, looking around, trying to remember where I parked my car, going through all the irrational possibilities, like, is there roof parking that I forgot about? Or maybe my parents surprised me with an oil change for the second time this month. Slowly coming to the realization that I parked my car where I always park it, and then someone else came along and stole it. So I start walking back towards my apartment to call the police, and I step in the biggest pile of dog poop I've ever seen in my life. I'm honestly shocked I missed it on the way out there. It was like being in the Hunger Games, and somebody was just like, it'll be sent in the fecal matter, and I just stepped right in it. So I talked to the police, I described what happened, I described my car. It's a 1996 green Honda Civic with a damaged front bumper that's held on by like a coat hanger and some duct tape and maybe some dental floss, and there's like half a Nerf ball shoved under the windshield wiper blade so it doesn't turn on and off so much. And they kind of have that tone like, do you even want this car back? And all I'm thinking is, I still have to study for my final. Well, if I don't want it back, how quickly can we get off the phone? Yikes. But I don't want to imply that I haven't had a great time in med school. I mean, I haven't, but that wasn't the point of that story. We've been afforded the opportunity to enjoy some truly fun and unique things. Like, remember getting drug tested? That was amazing. For those of you that have never had to do this, you drive to a special facility with all these rules and regulations, you're ID'd and you're searched, and then you're told in very clear terms to take a cup, go into the restroom, pee in that cup, but don't flush the toilet. And someone comes in after you to inspect the toilet and flush it for you. And it's all in an effort to prevent people from trying to cheat the test by impersonating someone else or bringing in another person's urine. So let me be clear here. I have never tried any recreational drugs in my entire life. Nerd, what? Who said that? That's so mean. But still, I was really nervous to get drug tested. So nervous that I brought one item with me to the appointment, my ID. So nervous that I wore really tight clothes that you couldn't possibly hide anything in order to appear less suspicious. And so nervous that I got in the bathroom with the cup they provided and proceeded to just pee in the toilet like it was a regular visit to the restroom. Let me tell you this, there is no walk of shame quite like walking out of that room with an empty cup and having to explain what happened to someone who sees this go completely normally 100 times a day, then sitting there for 25 minutes just aggressively drinking water to try to produce another sample. Good news though, I found out weeks later that I still failed the drug test because my sample was too dilute. And the anxiety surrounding retaking that test was more than I experienced for all the step exams combined. But we got through all of that. After drug tests and thousands of hours of studying, we were finally permitted to go into our clinical years. Third year went by in this kind of haze where everyone kept telling me to be more confident, and I would ignore them because I was too busy doing what people with no confidence do. Like ask myself if the 4 Cliff Bars, 7 reams of paper, and full-size clipboard stuffed in my white coat made me look fat. People kept telling me to study for shelf exams earlier, and I would continue to not do that, and then be confused about why I didn't do well. I don't know, it's a mystery. I'm doing everything right. And then boom, suddenly we're 4th years. We had reached the promised land, and that's when things went from bad to worse. I was on my surgery sub-I, which was a confusing move for literally everyone that's ever met me. It was probably like my 86th or 87th week of that rotation. I don't really know. But I was scrubbed in on yet another open abdominal surgery. They had me positioned kind of in between the patient's legs so I could look over and see everything. I'm a little bit vertically challenged. And at one point, I feel the foot of the bed start to raise up. Just an accident. Someone had inadvertently hit some button. No big deal. No need to say anything. It's just kind of hitting my shins at a 45-degree angle. And that decision to not speak up was the biggest mistake that I made in all of med school. Because about 10 minutes later, I had that thought that I'm sure we've all had. Why does this surgery smell so much worse than any other surgery? And that's when I felt something dripping on my legs. By not speaking up about the footrest, I basically created a poop conveyor belt that ran from the table down to my legs and into my shoes, which did not have shoe covers on them because I thought they looked stupid. So now I find myself in what is probably the worst situation for an introvert, to have to speak up in a crowded room filled with surgeons who are grading you and tell them you've just been defecated on. So the best I could come up with is, looks like things are a little wet over here. At which point a nurse threw a drop cloth over my shoes, and that's it. Nothing else happened. So I just stood there for 2 more hours with poop marinating between my toes, still legitimately mulling over like internal medicine or surgery. Why is it so hard to decide? So yeah, not every moment from med school has been great, but with all those rough spots, there were silver linings. I mean, not for everything, of course. Sometimes you're just left standing in a pile of shit. But there was also my dad and my mom driving to Longmont at 2 o'clock in the morning to pick up my recovered Honda Civic from a Walmart parking lot so I wouldn't have to pay the impound fee. There was my friend, the same one who listened to this speech about 16 times, waiting with me while I drank enough water to try to solve the mystery of the drug testing process. And there were the standardized patients that didn't laugh at me for being, let's call it, hesitant to learn the male genitourinary exam. Just like, okay, all right, looks good. He's like, Aubrey, that's my arm. And I'm like, sorry, I'm Catholic. There were extraordinary classmates that have worked on an endless number of committees to make this school even better than it was when we started. There were incredible professors and clinicians that little by little and day by day took us from terrified first years to almost doctors. There were advisors and mentors that answered questions from the practical. Does this rash on my back look like shingles to you? That one was me too. Yes was the answer. To the more philosophical, like, what did I do with my life? And everything in between. And there were patients that would say things like, oh, I'm so glad you're going into healthcare because we need more good doctors like you. They never said, oh, we need more good doctors from whatever program was at the top of your list. Because it doesn't matter where you go. It matters that you are compassionate. It matters that you are driven. It matters that you look out for the people around you. So then, at the end of it all, you will have been a great doctor, but because of the type of person you were, and not solely because of the program that was written in your envelope today. I mean, as we all know, this has just been a bazonkers 4 years where we've worked extremely hard, at times felt like we know nothing at all, constantly made fools of ourselves, but hopefully we've been able to at least laugh at this ridiculous, absurd, exhausting, amazing process until one day we got the extraordinary privilege of waking up, coming here, and getting to match. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
All right, Aubrey Eisenhart, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. We would now like to invite all students up to the stage that would like to announce where they matched. We will call one specialty at a time, at which point we will ask the interested students to come to the stage. Please know that this is entirely optional. In order to streamline the process, we ask that you hold your applause until the end of each specialty. Taking over for this portion will be Ashton Calhorn, Greg Flinney, and Nazanin Kalani, as they were the brains behind this section of the day and are admittedly a lot funnier than we are.
Okay, so we'll be bringing all the specialties up in alphabetical order, and we'll be starting with anesthesia. You guys just want to walk up there and say? Sure. Okay. Okay, and we also got all the specialties, little gag gifts as well. For anesthesia, we got you sleeping masks to help your patients or yourselves rest comfortably during cases.
Hey, I'm Kevin. I'll be at St. Joe's for preliminary medicine year and then CU for anesthesia.
I'm Lauren MacDonald. I'll be at St. Joe's for surgery prelim year and then University of Colorado.
Hey, I'm David Mack. I'll be here for all 4 years.
I'm Peter Yarger. I'll be in Lexington, Kentucky for all 4 years.
I'm Patrick Henthorn. I will be at St. Joe's for surgery prelim year and then University of Colorado.
Hi, my name's David Pham. I'll be at UT Southwestern in Dallas for all 4 years.
My name's Andrew Black. I will be at University of Illinois in Chicago for all 4 years.
My name's Tian Lei. I'll be at CU GenSurg for 1 year and then Emory University for anesthesia.
I'm Jackie Carrico. I'll be at St. Joe's for medicine and then University of Colorado.
Andrew Sproul. I'll be at the University of Iowa for 4 years.
I'm Kirk Dressen. I'm following him to the cornfields for 4 years.
Paul Pokran. I'm going to Michigan.
I'm Melissa Wu. I'm going to UT Houston. Thank you.
All right, next up we have dermatology. Come on up. So for the gift, we have a sun visor so that Naz can practice what she will be incessantly preaching.
Sun safety. I'm Naz, and I matched at PSL for transitional year and CU for dermatology.
Okay, the next specialty is emergency medicine. Okay, so for emergency medicine, we got you guys minute hour glasses, or minute sand glasses, so you know when you're spending too much time with the patient.
I'm Beth Patterson. I'll be going to Jacobi Montefiore in the Bronx.
Yoni Siegel Richmond going to Hennepin in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I'm Sally Westcott. I'll be going to the Naval Medical Center in San Diego.
I'm Alex Alanis. I'm going to Cook County in Chicago.
I'm Ben Flitter. I'm going to LSU in New Orleans.
I'm Claudia Timmer and staying here at Denver Health Medical Center.
I'm Morgan Meary, and I'm going to be going to New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Sarah Kane. I'm going to LA County, USC.
I'm Katia Johnston,
I'm Jason Hendrickson.
and we're going to Cook County in Chicago.
I'm Cody Brevick, and I'm staying here at Denver Health.
I'm Matt Givens, and I'm going to Indiana University in Indianapolis.
I'm Paul Kim, and I'm going to UPMC in Pittsburgh.
Next up, we have ENT. Okay, this one's a little bit of a tough one, but we got you ears that don't work, just like your patients.
Oh, I love it. I'm Ethan Mahonen. I'm going to UC Irvine.
I'm Julie Highland, and I'm going to Utah.
Okay, the next specialty is family medicine. Okay, so for family medicine, we got you guys disguises so you can hide from your patients when you're in the public.
I'm Amy Leach. I'm going to North Colorado Family Medicine in Greeley.
I'm Lindsay Herrera. I'm going to St. Mary Corwin in Pueblo.
I'm Jim Bowie in St. Anthony's North.
I'm Ryan Gillum. I'm going to St. Mary's in Grand Junction.
I'm Isaac Fonkin, and I'm going to Fort Collins, Poudre Valley.
Eric Webster, and I'll be in Greeley, Colorado.
Lisa Wolf, and I'm going to Anchorage, Alaska.
Emily Garbin, and I'm going to Poudre Valley in Fort Collins.
Stephen Acey, and I'm going to Billings, Montana.
I'm Danielle Eves, and I'm going to Swedish here in Denver.
I'm Caitlin Felderheim, and I'm going to University of California, San Francisco.
I'm Paola Casillas, and I'll be at St. Joe's here.
I'm Stephanie Sargent, and I'm going to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
I'm Lauren Oberly, and I'm going to the University of Colorado.
I'm Lynn Wynn. I'll be at Poudre Valley at Fort Collins.
All right, next up we have general surgery. All right, so we actually got a very practical gift for you guys today. For all you general surgeons, we have glue sticks in case you cut the wrong thing.
Cool. Thank you guys very much. Very practical. I'm actually just going to do a prelim year at University of Hawaii in Honolulu.
Christina Farid, I'm going to the University of Central Florida.
Helen Madsen, I'm going to CU.
I'm Helen Yu, I'm going to UC Irvine.
I'm Andy, I'm going to OU. I'm Kristen, I'm going to Swedish Medical Center in Seattle.
I'm Vivian Nguyen, I'll do a prelim year here at CU.
Okay, internal medicine is next. All right, so for all the medicine people, we got you guys marathon snacks for your infinite rounding.
Hello, I'm Catherine Gwen, and I'm here at University of Colorado.
Ivan Rudenko. I'm going to Harbor UCLA.
I'm Corey Badgett. I'm going to Walter Reed in Bethesda.
Matthew Applegate, St. Joe's, Denver.
I'm Long Hua, and I'm going to St. Mary, Long Beach, California.
I'm Anna Stashenka, and I'm going to UCSD San Diego.
I'm Emily Peisel, and I'm going to the University of Washington, Seattle.
I'm Kelly Robertson, and I'm going to CU.
I'm Julia Newman, and I'm going to BU in Boston.
I'm Tae Chang. I'm going to University of Arizona, Phoenix.
I'm Sarah Williams, and I'm going to UT Southwestern.
I'm Justin Holmes, and I'm also going to UT Southwestern.
I'm Chelsea Walter, and I'm going to Boston University.
I'm Twan Wade. I'm going to Santa Clara Valley, California.
I'm Anna Shriver. I'm going to CU.
I'm Cece Sasso. I'm going to Northwestern in Chicago.
I'm Logan Hostetter. I'm going to UT Houston.
I'm Nick Bishop, going to the University of Rochester, New York.
I'm Parsa Gassam. I'm going to the University of Michigan.
I am Eric Brown. I'm heading to Providence Medical Center in Portland.
Go ahead and take that with me.
I'm Aubrey Eisenhart, and I'm going to Wake Forest in North Carolina.
I'm Bill Kwok, and I'm staying at CU.
I'm Peggy Moser. I'm going to University of Maryland.
Next, I'd like to call up everyone going into Med Peds. Okay, so we got you guys 8 balls to help you with your indecisiveness.
Hi, I'm Tuong Pham. I will be going to UT Houston.
My name is Mi Tran, and I'm going to the University of Colorado.
All right, next specialty is neuro and peds neuro. Okay, so we got you little miniature brains to help you locate the little lesions.
I'm Hannah, and I am going to University of Colorado.
Next up, we have Neurosurgery.
Michael Yang, I'm going to Tufts in Boston.
Okay, OBGYN is next. Okay, so for OBGYN, we got you guys emergency rain ponchos. Well, that should be self-explanatory.
So I'm Mira Eston, and I'm going to Duke.
I'm Jamie Gilroy. I'm staying here at CU.
I'm Erica Martinez. I'm going to Stanford.
I'm Nok Vu. I'm going to University of Texas Medical Branch.
I am Emily Schmidt-Bochet, and I will be going to Mount Sinai West St. Luke's in New York City.
I'm Kim Cabral, and I'll be going to OHSU in Portland.
Next up, I have the single most important specialty in all of medicine. Okay, sorry. Okay, so next, can I have everyone in ophthalmology come up? Since we're in charge of the gifts, we all have PlayStation 4s. So, no, I'm just kidding. For us, we have crazy sunglasses for all the crazy things we do with eyes. Almost as good as PS4s. So. Oh, wait, actually. Oh my God. Look at shoes. Yeah, you can pick some good ones. Boys. Yeah, they're pretty crazy. They're all Oakleys.
I'll start. I'm Jared Fredrickson. I'm going to SUNY Upstate in Syracuse, New York for all 4 years.
I'm Ashley Calhorn. I'm doing my surgery year at St. Joe's and then ophthalmology at CU.
Hi, Leo Zukin, staying here for first year and then University of Southern California for ophthalmology.
Hey, I'm Min Trin. I'm doing opto at Hofstra.
I'm Greg Flinney. I'll be staying here for intern year, then going to Yale and New Haven for ophthalmology.
Okay, ortho. All right, so for ortho, we got you guys bone pens, so you'll never be without a bone in your hand.
Charlie Lockwood, University of Colorado.
Dawn Gorel. I'll be going to the Military Medical Center in San Antonio.
Jason Kern will be going to University of Colorado.
All right, next up we have pathology. Okay, and we got you all miniature Ouija boards so you can work on those communication skills with your patients.
My name is Chris Knocklin. I'm staying in Colorado.
I'm Mylene Ho. I'm staying in Colorado.
I'm Linnell Smith, and this is Olive, and we're staying in Colorado.
I'm Tim Miller, going to University of Michigan.
Okay, the next specialty is pediatrics. Okay, so for pediatrics, we got you guys pacifiers for your patients and sometimes their parents.
My name is Oren Gordon, and I'm going to Children's National in DC.
I'm Nate. I'm going to the University of Utah.
I'm
I'm Galen Descanio, and I'm going to UT Southwestern in Dallas.
I'm Kelly Finnegan, and I'm heading to Vermont.
I'm Tristan Deer.
I'm Kelsey Folks.
I'm Katie Lind.
I'm Rachel Sewell.
And we're staying here at CU.
All right, next up we'd like to call PM&R, Physical Medicine Rehab. That is a large exercise band. So we got an exercise band because motion is lotion.
I'm Eduardo. I'm staying here, so St. Joe's for prelim medicine, and then CU.
Okay, psychiatry. Okay, we got you guys tranquilizer guns because your patients are crazy.
Richard Froud, University of Colorado.
Lexi Choi, the University of Colorado.
Mario Lentz, University of Colorado.
All right, next up we'd like to call up radiology and interventional radiology together. So we got you guys x-ray sleeves to keep you warm in your cold, dark basements.
I'm Erica Emmons, and I'll be going to St. Joe's for surgery prelim and then to Vanderbilt.
I'm Audrey Magnowski, also at St. Joe's for surgery prelim and then CU for IR.
I'm Diego Camacho, and I'm going to be going to Virginia Mason for surgery prelim and then Baylor College of Medicine for diagnostics.
I'm Thomas Wong. I'll be going to Vanderbilt for both surgery internship and IR.
All right, and last but not least, urology. Okay. Yeah. So for urology, we got you guys very, very generic medical keychains because any joke about your specialty would get us kicked out of ours.
Hi, I'm Sarah Ha, and I'm going to The Ohio State University.
I'm Alec Bluebaum, and I'll be going to the University of Oklahoma.
I'm Alex Colvin, and I'm going to the University of Nebraska.
Okay, thanks for laughing at our jokes and our gifts.
We didn't think this far ahead, but we're done now, so thank you.
We're almost there. So this almost concludes our match day events, but before we all depart, I would like to invite Dr. Brian Dwinell up to the stage for closing remarks.
All right, I'll answer your question right up front. I know you're all wondering how long I'm going to take. So the good news is I timed it out, and it's exactly 45 minutes, so we'll be good. No, honestly, I won't take very long. My name is Brian Dwinell. I'm the Associate Dean of Student Life, the very fortunate Associate Dean of Student Life. I've only been in my position for about 7 months or so. And today, I'll tell you, attending this event, I have a lot of jealousy. Some of my jealousy is related to the excitement that you're all feeling. I remember it well. But I'm also jealous of this event. I was talking to Dean Zimmer and a few others, remembering my day, and I think we were down in the basement of my dorm, and we opened envelopes together and then maybe called family members. And by the way, I went through couples match, so I know how you're all feeling. And I love OBGYNs because my wife's an OBGYN. So for those of you that... But the other thing I'm really jealous of is that I didn't get to know more of you. You know, the members of the class of 2018 that I've met, just amazing people. And what we've seen today, I think you'll all agree with me, just amazing accomplishments. And I know that you're on to better things, and you're going to be making us proud representing CU. I will keep my comments brief. One of the things I wanted to do is to thank a few groups. First of all, for this event today, we need to recognize Karina Goodwin, Haley Herman, and the entire staff of the Office of Student Life. They've done a phenomenal job, and frequently, as you know, they're behind the scenes doing a lot of work, and they don't get the recognition they deserve. I also want to thank our student leaders. And by the way, did Tian and Dawn just not look awesome today? I saw them when I showed up, and I said, oh man, I got to go run a tux. I'm way underdressed today. In addition to them, there was an entire committee, a match committee. Their names on the back of the program. There are also a lot of third-year students here that checked everybody in. We appreciate that volunteerism. It's such a spirit here. Unbelievable amount of volunteerism that our students do. I also want to thank all the faculty, administration, and staff that are here today. I think you'll all agree with me, the students will agree with me, how much they've supported them during their time here over the 4 years. As you know, we have a lot of mixed feelings today. We're so excited for you, but we're really going to miss you. But we're so grateful for what you provided us and know that you're going to be impacting thousands of lives as you move forward. I also want to thank again the family and friends that are here today. I don't think we can thank them enough, not only for being here today, but supporting you through a very intense time of your lives. I think you'll agree with me that you couldn't do it without them, so let's give them a round of applause as well. And finally, just a few brief comments for the class of 2018. We understand that you're experiencing a lot of emotions today. It marks the beginning of another journey. We recognize that some of you are feeling overjoyed about receiving your dream choice. But we also know that some of you may experience some disappointment, that you're ending up in places that perhaps weren't anticipated. But I shared with one of your colleagues a story from when I returned to my medical school reunion. And I'm not just saying this, some of the happiest people I encountered were the ones whose dreams were fulfilled in unexpected places. I know it sounds incredibly cliche, but your training experience and the rest of your career is what you make of it. There are patients across the country that need your care and compassion, and we know that you're ready to provide it. In the words of Atul Gawande, it all begins with an unshakable faith in what can be accomplished. So I compel you to move forward today with your dreams intact. I had some closing remarks that I was going to make, and I actually changed them earlier when I arrived. And that's because I remembered that there was a person missing today, and that is Maureen Garrity. And I hope Maureen, yes, let's give her a round of applause, please. Maureen was my predecessor, my mentor, my friend. I'm hoping that she's watching the live stream. I know she impacted all of your lives during your time here. We miss her dearly, but her impact will always be felt. But she had a tradition of ending match day with a toast. I'm not going to deliver it as well as she did, but I hope that you'll join me in raising your glasses. And this is an old Irish toast. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warmly on your face and the rain softly on your fields. And until we meet again, I hope that God will hold you in the palm of his hand. To the class of 2018, congratulations.
So one last thing, the class of 2018 would like to extend the invitation for a social gathering at Union Station for all students, families, and friends. Conveniently, the 16th Street shuttle is free and will take you straight there right after this.
We did it, class of 2018. Congratulations!